Okay, so this is the first part of the C++ tutorial. So in this part, we're just going to focus on setting up your C++ environment, and we're just going to have a simple hello world program. So what I'm about to show you is using a virtual machine, and we're going to install C++ build environment inside this Linux virtual machine. So if you took my natural language processing class, you should have a virtual machine. Some of you should have a virtual machine already set up. So why not? Let's just keep using it. Otherwise, you can use any of the online C++ IDE. In that case, you don't need to install anything, right? You just start typing in the browser, hit a run button, and then run your code. So the process will be a lot more simplified. But here I'm showing the virtual machine way of doing things, and you might use this for other classes as well. So why not? So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your virtual machine has a text editor. So usually there are two camps of people, right? Somebody like to use the VI text editor that came in built in with the Linux system, but I personally like to use Emacs. So if you don't have Emacs, let's install Emacs. So you want to do sudo apt-get install Emacs. So sudo basically just means that you're running in admin. So you hit enter. So for me, Emacs already installed. Otherwise, for you, you're going to see prompt saying, okay, do you want to install Emacs? If so, type in Y. You want to type in Y, hit enter, and then it's going to install. Right? So you're going to pause this video and wait for Emacs to install. All right. Once Emacs is installed, you want to install the C++ build environment. So do sudo apt-get install build -essential. So it's going to look for a bunch of things. I guess for me it's done. Right? Yeah. Yes, for me it's done. Reading package list. C++ automatically installed, no longer required, blah, blah, blah. So everything's done. Okay, so right now everything is installed for me. For you, it might take a little bit more time. So if you want, you can pause the video and wait until it's done. All right, so once the build essential is done, what do you want to do is, let's see, do I have anything over here? Okay, I already have the folder, CPP example, right? So maybe you want to do like mkdir, CPSC 271, right? So basically make a 271 folder like this, and then you can put all of your code in there, right? So let's go into our new folders, cd CPSC 271. And in there, we're just going to make a hello world, a little bit more complex hello world. Right? We don't want to just like system out print line hello world. We're beyond that, right? We moved past that. So let's ask the user for their name, and then we're going to print hello with their name to it. So we're going to call this hello. So you want to do touch hello.cpp. And if you do ls, then you can see hello.cpp is created. Right? So then you want to go in there, we're going to go Emacs hello.cpp. All right. So now we're programming C++. Right? So the first thing we want to do is we want to include a couple of things. So first we want to include I think it's std iostream. Yeah, iostream. I think that's what it is. I'm kind of rusty on the library names. So this is kind of like the import in Java, right? Java, you say import java.util.scanner. And in C++, you do include IOStream. I think it's IOStream. And then the other thing we have to include is string. So string doesn't come naturally in C++. You have to import it. And then another very important thing you want to do using namespace std. So this just means standard library. So std stands for standard. So basically, what this means is the IOStream we're including, the string we're including is from the standard library. So the namespace is kind of like package in Java. Even though we didn't do a lot of packages, we usually use the default package. You can create packages, and then inside each packages, you can create classes. The namespace is kind of like packages. So we have the standard library packages that have different utilities like IOStream, string, and they come from the standard library. Right now, if you have your own library, if you're like, okay, screw that, I have my own library, which I doubt you do. You can do, I don't know, my library, right? So this will essentially using your own IOStream and string library. But we're not going to do that, obviously, right? Because we don't want to reinvent the wheel. So then after we do the import, we're going to create the main method. So just like Java, but this is a lot easier than Java. It doesn't have the string args, all of that stuff, right? So one thing with C++, you don't have to be object-oriented, even though it will be nice if we do object-oriented, but it is not required. So you can just make a function like this, just inside a CPP file, right? You don't have to put that inside a class, right? Because in Java, we got to do like class, main class, and inside the main class, we have to do public static void main, string args, and all that stuff. In C++, you simply do int main, and then that's it. So that's our main class. It works the same way as the Java main class. And then in here, we want to first ask the user their name. So we want to cout console output smaller than a sign. What is your name? Double quote. And then you do the smaller than sign again, and line. So this one line, it looks really weird, right? But this is basically system.out.println. This is the C++ way of doing console output. System.out.println, what is your name? So in the C++ is cout with this thing. So this thing just means concatenation, right? So what is your name? Concatenate with the line character. And then after that, we want to create a string. Now notice string in C++ is lowercase. So that's going to be confusing. I know it's going to be super confusing. Actually, let me do this. Let me keep it uppercase, just so that when we compile this, you will see what error looks like in C++. So let's do string name. Right? So then how do we do console input? We do cin name, like that. So that is the scanner, equivalent of scanner. So cin goes into the name, and then we just simply want to print the name out. So then you do cout hello, put a space in there. Then we're going to concatenate this with name. And after that, concatenate with end of line. So that is our hello. Well, actually, I forgot O. Hello. That is our hello world program. But one step above that, right? We actually get the user inputs. So after this, you can save this. So Control X, S. What is on the bottom? Once you hit Control X, S. So basically, you want to hold Control X, and then hold Control, and you want to press S. right? So how this works is you want to hold control the whole time. So hold control for the whole time, and then you want to press X, and then you want to press S. So control X, S. And once you hit those keys, you will see root home user CPSC 271 hello.cpp. Right, so this means that this file has been saved by Emacs. And if you want to quit, you want to again hold down control the whole time, and then press X and C, and there we go. It came out. So then we have our code, right? We have the hello CPP, and then we want to compile this. So to compile, you want to do G++ hello.cpp -o hello.exe. So I think you will see something very familiar, .exe, right? So on Windows machine, a lot of the executables are .exe, so now you know where they come from. So G++ hello.cpp-o hello.exe, we hit enter. Obviously, there's some compiler errors because string was not declared, right? Obviously, because it should be lowercase. And then because string is wrong, so name is also wrong. So this is what a compiler error looks like. And you can see the lines, right? I don't know what this 3 means, but I think 7 means it's on line 7. So let's go to line 7. So let's go back to Emacs hello.cpp. This line 7, yeah, that is line 7, right? See down there, this line 7. So let's change that to the lowercase s, and I think that should fix everything. Let's quit again and recompile G++ hello.cpp-o hello.exe. Everything is fine, right? So you do ls. Now you can see hello.exe in there. So that is our executables. And we can run this by running // So // just means current folder. So here's the difference between having / without and versus not having // So not having // you are executing a system executable. So for example, if I do Python here, right, it says command Python not found, right? So if I don't do the // we're executing a system executable or system command. If we do // meaning for the current folder, we want to execute hello.exe. There we go. Our name, right? That's our program. What is your name? I'm going to put in Han. Hello, Han. There we go. So that is our hello world program for C++.